father.
Then who are you? You haven't even told me your name.
Dennis, have you seen Jerry?
No, not today.
You do what you tell her I'm looking for?
Sure, we'll do.
Thanks. Jerry? Jerry? Jerry?
I'm in here. Where have you been? I thought you were dead, kidnapped, drugged.
In that order?
Oh, don't get funny with me, Miss Nonchalant. Next time, I won't give this back to you. Your friend from the woods and his dog dropped by the house earlier today.
Here? Why?
To show me his dog tags, I guess. Verbal communication is not one of his best skills.
What was the name on his dog tags?
Well, it wasn't Ray Farrow. I guess that was his point. So, can you forget about him now?
No. How do we know they were his dog tags?
Because they were on his dog.
Well, if he isn't Ray Farrow, well, he knows something. I can sense that.
You're not going to get within 50 yards of that man again unless I'm there.
He brought me to where he lives. I made a map on the way back. It's somewhere... It's somewhere near here. It's not that far.
Why you want this strange person to be your father is beyond me.
It's not a question of what I want or what I don't want. It's a question of what is true.
For this, I have to get Lyme disease. Look, I'm not saying the man is troubled, but he's not well, Jerry. He's been trying to think of a way to talk about the man without sounding prejudiced or paranoid. Well, I can't. He's just someone to stay away from.
He let me follow him last time. He brought me to his camp. It's well, sort of, it's organized. He's not an animal. He eats with a spoon. He tries to keep clean. He reads. It's not what you think.
You really want to go back in there, don't you? Okay. In the morning, together. After breakfast. I barely spoke English. I spoke with an Asian accent, turning the R's into L's, and the L's into R's. Raymond Farrow.
I think we're almost there.
You know, the Redwoods were here before the pyramids. A couple of years will probably be a parking lot.
Careful, there's a trap.
Hello? This is it? Jerry?
Are you here? If you are, I know you'll come out when you want to. You never told me his name. Why not?
His name is Lyman Fellers. Fellers, Farrow, Fellers. Lyman, Ryman, get it? Lyman Fellers, Raymond Farrow. I mean, they're close enough to cause some confusion. If they'd ask your mother what your father's name was, and she said Lyman Fellers, her accent would probably make it sound like
Raymond Farrow. That must be how it happened. He must be my father, but will he admit it?
You're going to find out if he's willing to tell you anything about the circumstances of your birth. Apologize for bothering him, and we're getting out of here. I don't want you hassling him.
Well, if he's my father, I'm not just going to leave him here.
If that's what he wants, you certainly will.
It's not what he wants.
You don't know that.
I know that.
You do not.
I do, too. I sense things about him. I know we have some connection, even if I don't know exactly what it is.
I held you in my arms. You wasn't any bigger than that. And a week old. Your mother handed you to me.
My mother. What was her name?
Late John. I can't say it right. She wasn't no kid. She owned a flower shop, like you said. She was a beautiful lady. Smart, like you.
Why did she give me away?
She'd have kept you, but she knew what would have happened. That wasn't no place for a kid like you. In Vietnam, you'd have been an outcast. She wanted you here. She wanted you to have a life with your dad.
With you. You are my father, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm not your father.
But you know who is.
Am I to understand you knew Jerry's parents in Vietnam?
That's how I knew her.
You can pick one child out of thousands of orphans and recognize her 18 years later?
I saw you in town. It's like seeing your mother all over again. Same colors she used to wear, same... See, your dad was real proud. He had us come in the back of the flower shop. Showed you to us. We passed you around. But he couldn't bring your mother over here. He already had a wife in the States. But he wanted to keep you.
Why didn't he?
He did. He just fixed it with the adoption people.
Dear.
But he never told any of you?
He couldn't have told any of us without Julia knowing sooner or later.
Laird was my father?
Father was always restless, as a boy and as a man. Always wanting to be more than he was. He's no good at business, making money. He had no ambitions in that direction. All he ever wanted to be was a concert pianist. But he was afraid he didn't have what it takes, so he gave up on that idea, and he hated himself for giving it up. Maybe that's why he went to Vietnam. I don't know.
He really wanted me to know, didn't he? Otherwise, he wouldn't left me that box with a photograph in it. Pressed flower must have been my mother's. But why? Why was he so afraid that he couldn't be open? Was it because of Julia?
Don't judge him, honey. He was fighting battles we knew nothing about. I know he loved Julia and he would never hurt her. Couldn't share his secret. Finally, he couldn't live with it.
I just wish he could have told me. Just wish he could have told me. Laird was playing this one day, and I sat down beside him and started playing the piece with him. I was about 6. He was so surprised that tears started rolling down his cheeks. I asked him why he was crying, and he said, sometimes people cry because they're so happy they can't laugh. He told me that if I trusted my feelings,